I think one question people need to ask themselves when they have kids is, how do I know that my kids will love me? You know? Now, I know a lot of people don't think a lot about anything in life. They're just on autopilot about everything. But people need to think about this. How do I know if my kid will really love me? People need to think about a lot of things when it comes to having kids. But how do they know that their kids will really love them? They don't know. They can't guarantee anything for their kids. And their kids didn't choose anything when they were born. They didn't choose their parents. They didn't choose the circumstances they're going to have financially, biologically, emotionally. They didn't choose the suffering they could go through in life. They might go through something terrible. They might be fucking molested when they're young. They didn't choose to go through that, and they didn't want to go through that. So the kid can't choose anything in life. They can't choose where they're born geographically, what country, what city, continent. Imagine they're fucking born in Gaza or fucking Ukraine in a war zone. That's terrible, man. But that's happening right now. Someone's being born in Gaza or Ukraine because two stupid people didn't ask the question. Well, they didn't ask a bunch of questions, but one question they should ask is, how do I know my kids will love me? Do you really think your kids will love you if they're born into a war zone? No. I mean, anybody can look at the news on Gaza and Israel and Palestine, right? And all the kids that have been suffering there. It's terrible. Their parents didn't ask any questions. They just mindlessly fucked like rabbits, like animals, like animals, literally, like lions. Human beings need to ask more questions and they need to stop being on autopilot. But how do parents really know if their kids are gonna love them? They don't know. Their kid could grow up to be a bad person. That's why it's so cringe when you see, like, videos of kids being born in hospital beds and then the mum holds it there and she's cherishing the kid. Obviously, that's what she's gonna do because she thinks it's a beautiful little angel, but it's not. What if that kid grows up to fucking stab people or shoot people? Be a school shooter. That these things can happen. So why, I mean, why don't people think about this stuff? It's a damn shame. That's how there's 8 billion plus humans in the world. Um, People just don't think, man. It's really simple how this world is the way it is, and it's just terrible, man. The world needs to be destroyed. I agree with what people like Mr. Antinatalist say, or realist being 99. you know. But yeah, I agree with them. Honestly, I've thought about it too. I'm not just parroting what other people say. I reference a lot of channels like when I'm talking like those guys and Stop Having Kids and other channels, but I don't just parrot what they say and copy it. I try to think about it. I try to come up with my own ideas too, because I want to grow antinatalism on this channel and I want to, relate to people as well. There's a selfish reason and there's a selfless reason. And don't worry, I won't delete this channel a second time. I kind of regret deleting it the first time, but it's not a big deal in my mind. I know I'm kind of going off a side note here, but in my mind, it's not a big deal because, I mean, yeah, it was a mistake. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, guys. I deleted my first channel, but I won't do that again. But, it's not a huge deal because whoever found antinatalism because of me, it's not like they're just going to forget about antinatalism. No, they're still going to know what it is and they still know that it's bad to have kids. It's just the internet as well. There's so many people promoting antinatalism and I'm back anyways. So, and this channel will eventually, I'm going to build it up. It will be just as big as the last one. I bet money on that, even though I'm broke. But anyways, back to the topic of this video. Why, I mean, how do parents know that their kids are going to love them? They don't know. They don't know. They're the ones, they need to take full responsibility, and they don't because they keep making people, and people can turn out to be horrible, horrid monsters in this world, and they can do terrible things, and it's all because their parents made them in the first place. So really, baby making and reproducing and giving birth is evil. I mean, obviously, it's the most evil thing ever. That's how evil people come into this world, because people keep making more people. If they stopped making new people, there would still be evil people in this world, but, eventually they will die off and fuck off and go to hell and burn in hell forever, hopefully. I'm not religious, by the way. I just like saying evil people should burn in hell because they should. They should fucking rot in hell and be tortured and, fucking be tortured by Satan and shit. But parents don't know if their kids are going to love them. They don't know if their kids will grow up to be good people, no matter how good parents they are, how good their parenting is. They don't know these things for a fact. They don't. Their kid could get in with the wrong crowd and end up hurting people and killing people even, and go to life for prison. Who knows? Or even if they get away with bad things, they're still a bad person doing bad things, in society, walking around a dangerous person out there. There's many people like that out there walking freely that should be locked up. But the fucking justice system in whatever country it is, especially where I'm at in the UK, is fucking garbage and doesn't deal with people accordingly. Um, so yeah, it's um, it's just a huge risk having kids. Not just a risk to the kid's self, but in this video, I'm more looking at it from the angle of the kid could grow up to be a terrible monster of a human being, and they could. Yes, parents don't know if their kids are gonna love them, but they don't know if their kids will, despite being a really loving parent, if that's what their goal is, which most parents are. Most parents, when they choose to have kids, they think that they will be great parents and they'll do whatever it takes to love their kid and give them what their kid needs emotionally. But even despite all that, someone can still grow up to be a bad person. They can. They can. They absolutely can. Um, because it's just in human nature. Humans are just predatory, man. They're predatory, they're bullies, they're abusive. They can't control their emotions and their impulses. They take out their frustration and anger on someone else for no reason, someone innocent. It happens all the time, man. And they get away with it or they don't get away with it. But either way, they still harm somebody maliciously, aggressively, in a, and it was just completely unnecessary. That person didn't need to be harmed, but humans don't get the help they deserve, or not that they deserve, but that they need in this world, and they're just no one's watching their actions. They just get away with bad things. It happens all the time. People do bad things and they get away with it, and they want to keep doing it. That's the human condition. People like getting away with bad things. A lot of them, they like getting away with hurting other people. Or whatever they do, they like getting away with it. So my standards of humanity is so fucking low at this point, and it will remain that way forever. That's why I'm not trying to like please anybody. I'm not trying to conform to anybody. I'm just trying to put my thoughts out there again for good this time, permanently. Um, and you can't control who you come into contact with in this world, like evil people, because there's a lot of them out there, a lot of bad people in this world, whether it's online or offline. There's plenty of them. And yeah, I mean, you can't control who you come into contact with, and your standards for human behavior should be low, man. They should be really low because, like I said, humans like doing bad things and they like getting away with it. And it's not like they like doing good things as well. No, people don't do good things that often because there's no reward in it for them for the most part. What reward do people get for doing good things, like holding a door open for somebody? They're not going to fucking do that. They might do that, but that's rare, for example. I know that's trivial, but people don't really do good things. They basically do nothing, which is basically anything for them, or they just do bad things. That's pretty much what humans do. Humans are doing nothing unique on this planet. They should be fucking destroyed. The human species should be destroyed, as peacefully and painlessly and quickly as possible. I'm not for fucking like killing people and bombing everybody. Nah, I would just like press the red button. But obviously that don't exist, and it probably never will, unfortunately. So all we can do is just not make people in the first place. People that could grow up to be bad. So parents need to ask these questions when they're deciding to have kids. They need to not make a fucking nest and have kids. Well, they could make a nest, just adopt people who already exist, people who already are here, so you can maybe prevent them from becoming bad people. I mean, that's the way I look at it. So many humans are just fucking bad people, whether they're fucking not, even if they're not violent, they don't have to be violent to be bad people. They could be bullies, they could start drama, You know, they could do all these toxic, terrible, negative things and not even be aware of what they're doing. There's plenty of people like that, whether it's online or offline. They just want to start drama. They just want to shout out some person, you know, for clicks and all this bullshit. Because, and this is why they do it, because they can't control their emotions and their impulses. And I'm not perfect. I can't control my emotions and my impulses too, you know? But I don't start drama with people. I don't do that shit. I don't hurt people mentally, physically. I don't do that, you know? So I'm at least better than people who do that shit. Um, I mean, there's spectrums to this shit. There's spectrums to how bad people can be, you know? I'm not perfect by any means, but I'm not evil, you know? I'm never reproducing, and I'll never hurt someone in a really bad physical way. I would never do those things. So I'm not evil by any means. I'm better than those pieces of shit who do that shit. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, I'm a misanthrope as well as an antinatalist, and I'm sure you guys are. Whoever's listening to this, you know, humans are just they're they're you know there's something negative basically, man. They're gonna let you down, you know, and you can't trust people these days. You can't. People are crazy, man. Um, you can't. Humans, like I said before, humans don't have control over their emotions and their impulses. That's why they take it out on somebody else, or because they had bad parenting, or for whatever stupid reason. But yeah, they don't have control over their emotions and their impulses. They don't. That's why they do all these terrible things. They can't control themselves. They can't control their violent urges, their urges to start drama, their urges to fucking bully somebody. You know, they can't control themselves. They're bad people. They're out of control. They need to be controlled. They need help, you know? Plenty of people in this world need help like that, but they don't get it, so they continue doing bad things, and they don't feel any remorse for it. You know, true psychopaths, they don't feel any remorse for their actions. They want to keep doing it. They want to keep hurting somebody if they can get away with it. I've come into contact with them in this world. Maybe you have too if you're listening to this, but I mean, yeah, humans are just fucking crazy and evil, and, you know, for whatever reason, they can't control themselves. So we have to control ourselves. We have to be better than them and ask these questions and not reproduce anybody, because they could grow up to be a bad person even if they're a part of you and you're a good person. It's Ali, just because you're a good person doesn't mean that your kid will be a good person. Fuck no. There's no guarantee of that. There's none. Even if you think it's in your DNA that you're a good person, there's no guarantee your kid will be a good person. There isn't. There's no guarantee of anything. Your kid could grow up to look like a fucking, you know, I won't be too rude, but your kid could grow up to, you know, look like fucking a beast, you know, with a horrible skin condition or whatever, and look nothing like you. You don't know. So don't reproduce bad people into this world thinking that you can control their destiny. No one can control their destiny, because destiny is fucking random. It's randomized, you know? It's random. It's nothing set in stone in this world. Life is unpredictable, man, because humans are unpredictable and they're out of control with their emotions and their actions and their feelings. They're slaves to their emotions and their feelings and their impulses and their thoughts and their beliefs. They're dogmatic. They're stuck in their beliefs. You know, they think like women are a certain way, or they think money is a certain way, or they think other people are a certain way. And I understand that to a degree, because, you know, people aren't the same. People are born different. We're different. We have different beliefs, different ways of thinking about the world, ways of dealing with our frustrations and our anger. And some people just turn to the worst way possible to deal with that shit, because they're slaves to their emotions. So yeah, parents do not know whether their kids, whether they love their parents do not know whether their kids will love them, and whether their kids will grow up to be a good person just because they're a good person. So don't take that gamble.